what would be an additional skill to learn alongside with learning SEO? So they say, hey there, I'm still kind of new to SEO and learning it for almost a month. I've covered a lot of the aspects of on-page, off-page, and technical, and now I'm starting my way to practice my skills with blogs. However, I feel like I have to learn one more digital marketing skill to be able to be more desirable in the job market. So what should I learn alongside SEO?
Okay, so a short answer would be, out of those things that you've mentioned, a short answer would be paid side of things, right? Google ads, Facebook, Instagram ads, the search engine marketing, technically, what they call it, side of things. Obviously, if you're doing on-page SEO, you're doing your titles, your descriptions, your metas, your keyword research, all that kind of fun stuff. What wasn't mentioned there was local SEO. So if that's something they're not putting in there, local SEO is going to be a huge impactor. So that would even be, maybe even before paid stuff. If I was going to add other stuff to that list besides technical SEO, funnels, building funnels and using funnels. I mean, you and I, Sean, we're doing that right now, trying to work through all that and how to make sure it all is just perfect and follow-up sequences and whatnot. So funnels would be a really, really strong one to learn. And then again, the other one would be the ad side of things. Understanding how Google Ads works, how the match types work, how quality scores work, how the bidding processes work, how the algorithm takes some time to kind of figure out your audience, how the AI portion of it works. Because that side of it is, there's a lot of money in it. There's a lot of money going into it. It could be, Amazon's got their own, bidding and stuff for getting found on Amazon. So I would say if you're really looking for a marketable skill that you can get paid for doing, it would be going into the ads side of things, the search engine marketing side with Google ads, Facebook, Instagram ads, LinkedIn ads, the ads marketplace in essence. That would be very valuable to know along with the other stuff that you've got too.
We need to start calling you Professor Steve.
I was an adjunct professor at the International Academy of Design and Technology for about 2 years.
But definitely, I think a lot of people are learning this stuff probably to help with their existing jobs. But I definitely feel like, there's got to be a whole new crop of people that need to learn how to do this just as their job.
Yeah, and yeah, to be honest, as you were reading that, he's like, I'm doing really well. I've been doing it for a month, and I'm like, they're like, a month. You're such a baby in a month. I mean, you've probably heard me talk about this before, Sean. I always say, like, like a new website's like a newborn baby, right? In Google's eyes. All a newborn baby has to do is, eat, poop, and sleep, right? That's it. They got to learn everything. They had to build up to being, an educated, doctor, college, the whole thing. It takes time to get to a place where you are really established. And the same is true on the web. It takes time to establish yourself on the web. And for that matter, I mean, crap, I've been doing this since 1997, 25 plus years, and I don't know everything. I don't. So you may be doing this for a month. You don't know squat, honestly. You've got the very, very basics, minuscule, understanding of the top level stuff. But you have not been exposed to enough to know what you're doing. You may have an understanding about what's to be done, but how to make a difference, especially, let's say, a competitive market, that's going to take a lot more time than a month. So I definitely see you getting, an entry level position somewhere if you have something. And again, as a recommendation, I always 100% say you should have a guinea pig site, a site that you can do on your own. You can do all the techniques that you're learning, that you can put out there for other people to check out, where you don't have to worry about a boss to get paid. You don't have to worry about a client being pissed at you or something like that. Something that's your own, that you can learn and practice and maybe profit off of as well. Always good to have that. And that's really the best people that I've hired over the years that have stuck around the longest and did the best job were the ones that were already doing it for themselves and were looking for some additional help, additional skills to take it to the next level. And so I would always recommend you have at least one website that's yours, that you answer to no one about, and that you can try things out and see if it works, doesn't work without hurting yourself or hurting a client or relationship with your boss or your client?
I had one of those sites. I mean, like an old site I had back in 2000 and, I don't know, one or something. And I kept it for so long just as a testing ground to try stuff and play with stuff. And
Yeah.
it was kind of sad one day when I was like, I think it's time to let this go.
I mean, you know me, I've shown you some of the old sites that I have that are just sitting stagnant forever. I mean, they were very, very, good for a long while. I think I mentioned my original site from 1997, which has kind of been sitting there for 15 years on its own now, I think. But it was called starshipcomputer.com. It's still up. You can still see it, but it still has like Flash on and all this other crap on it too. But back then, 1997, if you put like online computer store, which was actually at the time a pretty well, searched for term, it was like CompUSA and like Best Buy, whatever the big, big box retailers were. Like I was like third or fourth would be Starship Computer. And I was just reselling this online tools like a reseller of a program, but it was ranking forever. For the last 20 years or so, although the last 6 or 7, I've kind of stopped using it. It was I run a big New York Jets fan club out of Tampa. It's probably one of the biggest ones in the world. We're celebrating our 20th anniversary this year, in fact. But the Jets fan club website was my guinea pig site for a long, long time because I knew that, look, I'm not making money off this. It was just a matter of trying to get indexed and found and trying new ways to get found and trying new techniques and trying out a form program that I didn't know how to use. I tried on my own website. And I knew that if I screwed it up and blew the whole thing up, wouldn't matter. I'm still gonna get 100 idiots come out to the bar, watch the game with me anyway. They're gonna come. But this gave me the opportunity to try to experiment, to do things that you might consider gray hat. I don't know if you know the difference between like black hat versus white hat. It comes from the old West movies where the bad guy always wear the black hat and the good guy always wear the white hat, so you can kind of tell them apart. In black and white movies. And then there's a thing called gray hat. And gray hat in SEO is like kind of walking the fine line. A lot of times gray hat would be you're testing something, you're trying, you have an idea. And so you try something out. And then it's not until Google decides that it's a good idea or a bad idea as to whether it falls in the black or the white. It's basically you're sitting on the fence. And Google will decide at some point whether, yeah, that's a black hat technique, you're gaming the system, you're doing things that are kind of against the rules, or you're doing it just for search engines, not for users, versus, hey, it's white hat. This is good for users. This will be helpful for users. Keep doing that. We like that. So yeah, those are some just some fun stuff from back in the day. But